Morning, everybody. Welcome to Second Cup of Coffee. Pastor Tom here with you, Rancho Christian Center. So glad that you would join us. It is week 3 of our Easter series on forgiveness. And the first week we talked about the lifestyle of forgiveness, Jesus washing the disciples' feet. The next week we talked on Holocaust Remembrance Day, the power of forgiveness. And we looked at Jesus and we looked at Corrie ten Boom and talked about the power of forgiveness in our own lives. This week, we're going to look at 2 other statements that Jesus made on the cross. He made them together, but the Gospels, Luke and John, only record part of it each. So Luke 23:46, Jesus on the cross, he's just about to die. He's just about to give up his spirit, and he says this, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." When you're walking in a place of having been wounded or having been hurt and you have unforgiveness, the first place that you have to go to is you have to submit your life back into the hands of God. You have to give over the brokenness, the woundedness, all of that, and you've got to let it go into his hands. What happens in that transaction is, like we talked about with Corrie ten Boom, her quote, "Your heart may not feel it, but it's a prophetic act to say, God, into your hands, a Father, not just God, but Father." You gotta begin to grow in that intimate relationship where the Father of John 3:16, who loved the world, loves me. And so if he sees brokenness in me, it says he's near to the brokenhearted. So I'm committing myself into your hands. That's the beginning of the process. And the reason that you do that, you see it in John 19:30 when Jesus said, now remember, this is the same time. This is the same, it's probably all said in the same breath because breaths were so hard to get on the cross. In 19:30, he says, "It's finished." At that point, he was released from this body and went out of his body, died on the cross for you and for me. Now, the great thing about Easter, which we celebrated a few weeks ago, is that he came up out of the grave. And because of that, we have hope, right? Because of that, because of his journey, because of his obedience, his willingness to go through the death, to come to the resurrection, gives us hope as Christians. He said, "I've gone to prepare a place for you." If it wasn't so, I would have told you. Right? So even in this, that you've got to hear that when you commit it to God, you may not feel it. You may not see the fruit immediately, but you got to walk through the process. Jesus was in the grave for how many days until he was risen, right? Your rising is coming. Your restoration is coming. Your "it is finished" is coming. But you got to start with, "I'm putting it in your hands, Father." And when Satan brings back the memory, Satan brings back the offense, Satan brings back all of those things, you've got to look at him and say, "It's in my Father's hands." If you want to have a discussion about it, you got to go to him because we're walking to the place where it is finished. It may not be a finished product today. I may not see all what God wanted to do in my life through this today. I may not be complete on the other side today, but my resurrection is coming. And as far as I am concerned, the minute I put it into my Father's hands, as long as I don't take it back, that portion is finished. And now he's bringing me into something greater. Don't miss the greater resurrection and restoration that God has for you because of unforgiveness. Give it into his hands. Give him time. Walk through the process with him. And he'll bring you to a place of being finished. And bring you to a place of restoration. Please join us next week, Second Cup Conversation. We're going to have a conversation with Will Gonzalez, and he's going to talk out of his own life just about how this actually plays out. I don't want it to be ethereal. I don't want it to be something that's just out there you can't grasp a hold of. So we're going to bring in somebody to give you a testimony that's going to help you overcome and get out of places of unforgiveness and into places of restoration. If you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube yet, please do. RCC Second Cup. And you can find all the weeks leading up to this. You can find our old series as well. And if you know somebody that's struggling with unforgiveness, let them know about this series. Send them a sample of what we're doing, and who knows what God will do through that. We love you. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.